Hi everybody, hope you've had a great weekend, and I know in the UK we've had an extra day this weekend, and the sun's been out, and it's been absolutely lovely. So I wanted to talk to you today about setbacks, and I thought about it because a couple of weeks ago I went on a CBT training. So I wanted to be able to ride a motorbike, something that I've always wanted to be able to do. I wanted to ride a motorbike. It was really important to me. And so the way that I had to do that was going on a CBT day. So I went and sat on the bike and everything. Now, for anybody that doesn't know, and why would you, and I guess you can't really tell from this live, is that I'm only 4'11", and so I'm only small. So it was quite difficult for me. Oh, hi Sarah, thanks for joining me. I know you had a good weekend too, didn't you? So that's good. I was just saying about our lovely bank holiday weekends and our weather. Sat on the bike and I started kind of like moving on the bike, etc. But it was really difficult for me to kind of like control because I couldn't put 2 feet down, and we weren't in a very big sort of like area to train either. And basically the guy said that he didn't feel that I would be able to have enough control over this motorbike in order to go out on the road later on. So he said, go on the moped. And I was like, really stubborn. And I was like, I don't want to go on the bloody moped. I don't want to go on the moped. For me, that wasn't my aim. I wanted to be able to learn and to ride a motorbike. And I wanted to cry, I wanted to go home, and but he said to me, look, you can soon have your CBT certificate at the end of the day, and then that allows you to ride whatever you want to ride. You can still ride a motorbike if you find one that is suited for you, that's okay with your size, etc. You can still do that. And I thought, okay, and I think and although I was disappointed, I definitely was disappointed that things hadn't turned out the way I wanted them to, I definitely, I came back and I thought, do you know what? That was my goal, to be able to learn to ride a motorbike, but it didn't work out that way. But I now have a choice. I can either go, well, do you know what? Didn't happen, and I'm never going to be able to do it, and that's it. Goal is ended, or I can find another way. And I think and I was thinking about that, and I thought, it depends on how important it is to me. It's not the overall thing, but that is one of the big motivating factors. I can either give up and, just not carry on, or I can find another way. And if my motivation is high enough, if that goal is important enough to me, then I'll make it happen. And I think that's, often with our recoveries, we can be going down one path and thinking that we're doing really well, and then it doesn't work out for one reason or another. It doesn't work out the way that we'd planned, way we'd hoped it to, and we can be, it can be disappointing. But it's just, if it's important enough to you, dust yourself down and try and find another way. And now I'm looking at buying bikes. Anyway, so yes, that was my little kind of thing about setbacks. The other thing I wanted to say is that I was talking to somebody the other day, and they were saying, well, I'm sort of struggling with this, and I'm kind of using food and, kind of go through a binge, a restrict sort of episodes. But the one, she said, I'm really scared about what will I have in place of that? What will I have when that, if I don't have that anymore in my life? And it was like a loss to her. And I totally get that, because I, went through the same. But I told her, and I wanted to share this with you now, is that with recovery and true recovery, when you feel better, when you feel confident, when you feel good in yourself, you don't need anything else like that, because you allow yourself food, so you're not denying yourself at any time. So it's not like an all or nothing. Food is available to you, and you can enjoy it, without going kind of, too much, without the binge effect. But you don't need anything after that, because you feel good enough, because life is good, and you don't have to fill it or be avoiding things or kind of dealing with your emotions with food, because life feels good. So yeah, that's just another thing that I wanted to mention to you, is that don't be worried. All the fears that I had about, what my life would be looking like after recovery, they're no longer fears for me now, and I don't miss kind of any aspect of, the eating disorder. I just don't. It's just no longer has an impact on my life, and I'm so glad about that. So all of the worries that you have, try not to worry about them, because once you come out the other end, you'll see that they just don't resonate with you anymore. So please try not to let that be a fear to hold you back. And lastly, I wanted to share with you, I was interviewed for, some of you might have come across it, called Recovery Warriors. And it's a website, and they do podcasts and they do blogs, and I've written a couple of blogs for them. And they interviewed me a while ago, I think it was back in February, for a podcast. And it hasn't been sort of scheduled yet, because I think they're waiting for a, kind of like, they sometimes have these sort of events where they have sort of like 7 to 10 days, and they have different sort of speakers and stuff. So I think they're looking to feature me as one of the experts in that, which will be great, and which I'm really looking forward to. But yeah, I had the interview back in February, and the one thing that they asked me is what was my favourite recovery quote. And I said it's not really a quote, but it's more of an acronym. And so I was going through some sort of like old sort of papers and stuff. I always kind of write things down and stuff. And I just wanted to share it with you today, if that's okay. So, R is realising that you're worth it, and you really are. E is experiencing true happiness, and it really is. C is about caring about yourself, not needing to punish yourself with anything. O is overcoming your own demons, and that is essentially what it's about. It's all that critical, negative voice in your head, and it's overcoming that. V is validating your worth. We are all worthy. We are all worthy. Why should you not be worthy either? E, eating without regret. Eating should be, it's a function, definitely, but it also should be pleasurable. And that's the thing, is like eating without regret. And I know that's big aspect there, but that's part of it. R, relapse. It is likely to happen, and that is okay. I don't know many people who have got up one day, thought, that's it, I'm gonna you know, I'm going to stop this game, I'm going to stop this malarkey, I'm going to change my ways, you know, and everything is going to be different for me. It's not easy like that. It's just not. And, you know, and so relapse is likely to happen. But the key is to keep going, and you can keep going, and you can get there. And why is yearning to live? Because you know what? Life can be bloody marvellous. It can be, and you can have a full, fulfilling life, you know, full of great things. I know it's really hard to see that when you have an eating disorder. I know it can be. But life is there, and life is short, and, you know, just make the most of every minute of every day. So I'll give you that again. R, realising that you're worth it. E, experiencing true happiness. C is caring about yourself. O, overcoming your own demons. V, validating your worth. E, eating without regret. R is relapse. It's likely to happen, but that's okay. And Y, yearning to live. And I think that sums up a lot of what recovery actually is. And although you have your fears around what it's going to look like, that is it for me. And so I just wanted to share that with you. Hope that's okay. And Sarah, thank you very much for coming and joining me live. And I will be back next Tuesday. And sorry, you put some comments. Look at your amazing tan. I know, I think it was a bit overload, a bit overkill. But, and yeah, it is a brilliant acronym, isn't it? And it is so true. And I know that you have started to realise this. And I know that you had fears and insecurities and worries and stuff about how it was, you know, the recovery process was going to play out, but you've done so well, so brilliantly, and I know that you are loving life at the moment, and yeah. And you know, the thing is if you can do it, if I can do it, then you know, lots of other people can do it too. So okay, so I will look forward to seeing you next Tuesday. All right, take care. If you've got any comments or any questions, please feel free to put them in the comments box, or message me if you want me to talk about something that I haven't covered. And yeah, all right then, take care, and lots of love. See you soon. Okay, bye.